valve inside of the mobile launcher. Well, now here they are. This is Trent Annis. Trent, can you just introduce everybody else here on your team?
Yeah, so this is Chad. He's our safety guy. And behind me is Billy. And he's the experienced hydrogen tech out here.
And the three of you guys really, I would say, saved the day today. I mean, really, you guys had to go in there to what's called the blast danger zone. You guys are specially trained to be able to do operations on the pad while cryo is loading. Talk to us about getting that call, being told, hey, you guys need to go in there. And it was the first time for all three of you.
Yeah, all I could say is we were very excited.
Yeah, stream did
Get
crash.
up there and go.
Fair enough.
Really? How are you guys feeling?
Very comfortable, very confident in the test team and the procedures and our training. We did a great job.
Walk us. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
How gratifying it must be for you guys, because you train for this eventuality, but don't always get to do it. Billy was saying that he's been a Red Crew team member for 37 years, and this is the first time he's been called to go into the blast danger zone.
like a
so
little
I know for
area.
us, when we're training for all of these
cool.
eventualities, whether it's a spacewalk or robotics operations, you really want to put that training into practice. How do you guys feel like it went today?
Amazing. I still can't believe it. It's surreal to me. It's just insane.
Yeah, kind of walk us through what you were thinking. So you get there, and what is it? Just like game time, and you're really focused, or how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'd say we were very focused on what was happening up there, just making sure we knew what was happening. Because the rocket's, it's alive, it's freaking, it's making venting noises, it's pretty scary. So on zero deck, my heart was pumping, my nerves were going, but
Oh, that's a
we
turret.
showed up today. I think as soon as we walked up the stairs, we were ready to rock and roll.
And they were telling us a bit about it while you were working on it. You guys were actually just torquing down the valve to prevent or reduce the leak rate or stop the leak. Is that right?
That's right. Just the packing gland. It was a little loose, so went up there and tightened her up.
You're probably still like in this oh my gosh moment, like all of us are. Has it actually hit you, like the role you played today in making Artemis 1 launch?
I still can't believe it. It's like I said, it's surreal and just amazing. I don't know about you guys, but
They're nodding along behind you, for sure. Anything you want to say to the launch team? Again, this is a big day for the launch team, for you.
Right, we're gonna just drop out.
NASA, but really the whole world. I mean, this is a historic launch that I think
Okay.
we'll all remember.
It's one way to get out.
We'll all remember, really.
we had a lot of people here helping us out, a lot of teams, firing room. I'm sure that was hectic. And, NASA.
They're so
Boeing,
calm and collected, these
all the other
guys.
companies did a great job,
Amazing.
and we're glad to be part of it.
One thing I always like to say is spaceflight is a team sport, and I think you guys perfectly demonstrated that today, right? Like, none of us could accomplish this on our own. It takes a really complex team. Nobody can be an expert in all of the systems, all the technology, all of the workarounds we might have to do to get a rocket off the pad. So thank you for the role you played in that team today. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you coming by to talk with us. All right, it's now been about 35
to the
minutes since
ASOC
liftoff
vehicle
of
retrieval
Artemis 1.
system.
Orion and ICPS are now free flying, so let's head back to Leah again to talk about how the journey is going so far.
Thanks, Megan. And it has been a pretty smooth ride so far. And we are now, again, like you mentioned, coming up on 36 minutes since launch. That puts us about 17 minutes until the perigee raise maneuver. That's going to be the maneuver that lifts the lowest point of Orion's orbit around the Earth and puts us where we need to be ahead of the translunar injection burn. The translunar injection burn is that really long burn that we're going to need to send us on to the moon. So we've been treated to some exciting views from the spacecraft today, including, and we hope to see some from inside the cabin, but we expect to continue receiving photo updates throughout the mission. It takes a team, though, to bring the imagery of Orion down to Earth, so let's meet them.
The imagery that we're collecting on Artemis 1 and the mission itself is preparing to carry humans to the moon. The Orion Imager team is going to be monitoring every aspect of
Hey, you all right, buddy?
visual spacecraft performance for the entire duration of the mission. The first time that we're going to be live streaming digital video from its spacecraft back down to the Earth from the vicinity of the moon. That's never been done before. What we'll be transmitting live streaming will be lower resolution, more compressed, because we have to fit it into a thinner pipe, if you will. every one of these cameras is in its position where it is and is configured the way it is for a very specific reason. We're going to be monitoring anything that we can see with the cameras for spacecraft performance. The imagery teams at NASA are composed of dozens and dozens of very highly trained, very specialized people, engineers, technicians, analysts. If we can see it, we're going to try and keep an eye on it. Imagery has been invaluable throughout the history of NASA. We flew cameras on Mercury, Gemini, Apollo, all of that stuff that we saw with the astronauts around the moon. It helps us detect the unknown unknowns. It allows us to see things that we didn't anticipate happening before. So when we do fly people on Artemis 2, we can have a high confidence that everything is working the way it should.
I love getting a look at those teams that we don't normally see, like the red team that Megan and Kayla just got to interview. A really big thanks to them and everyone that made this liftoff happen tonight. So we are going to toss it back to Megan and Kayla now at KSC. Again, we're about 15 minutes away from perigee race maneuver.
Thank you, Leah. Yeah, we wanted to take us back into Orion and talk about some of the science that's being enabled by Artemis 1 today. So inside of Orion are 10 of these. So they're called CubeSats because they're tiny satellites. Essentially, they're the size of the shoebox when they're folded down.
All right, so we're going to go...
they have solar arrays, things like that. That's when it gets a lot bigger. Now, these are called
where's it gone?
secondary payloads for this mission.
Andromeda,
Can you
that's
tell us
what we
about
needed.
Secondary payloads are.
Yeah, it just really means that it's not a primary objective of the mission. We're not relying on the success of these CubeSats for overall mission success. It's kind of a bonus payload, right? A chance to deploy these satellites that have different sensors on them and collect some awesome data to support other research objectives.
Yeah, and I know battery life was a concern for some of them, but all 10 were deployed, and scientists, I'm sure, are eager to see what kind of information that hopefully they'll be able to get. And they're just some of several research projects on this flight that will help gather data about the moon and more.
Artemis 1.
Here at Area 18, we believe on shit on the floor at all times. Bing bong.
It is a new frontier to do science.
So the primary objective is to test the Orion spacecraft integrated with the Space Launch System.
And it is designed to carry out the boldest of the bold missions.
But it's more than just learning how to travel in space. We're taking a lot of cool science along with us on this first mission to the moon.
So as NASA plans to go back to the surface of the moon and then onto Mars,
We want to spend more time there, and that's riskier business. So the more we learn about the moon itself and the environment where we'll be operating, the better we can prepare. We have 10 CubeSats called secondary payloads, which are small scientific spacecraft of their own that will each be conducting their own scientific mission.
Alright, let's... Sorry, no, I'm just focusing on getting ships upgraded at the moment, so I'll be quiet in Discord.
And they're going to help us understand what is the moon made out of, what types of rocks, what types of regolith, what types of ice, what's mixed in with water that might be present.
one of them actually is going to attempt to land on the moon. They're going to be studying the sun,
Understanding and studying the space environment, or the space weather.
some different propulsion systems. These novel ideas will ultimately turn into the technology and the systems that we want to use going forward.
There's a lot of cool things going on between all these CubeSats that make up our secondary payloads. Additionally, inside the Orion, we'll be flying an experiment to study space biology.
Space biology is where we study the underlying changes that Earth-based biological systems
Alright,
undergo.
so avalanche we can get from Referral 4.
The level of ionizing radiation that
We'll
we
give that from
experience
Grimhead.
will go beyond the Van Allen belt.
We'll
So
go
you
for
go
Grimhead.
beyond the
So
protective
L5,
magnetic
send it mass,
sphere
send it
that we
mass,
have
send it
around
mass.
us. You then get exposed
Port
to higher levels
Tresla.
of ionizing radiation. So we are flying several space biology experiments.
We will take a series of
Port
materials
Plant
Tresla.
seeds, fungi, the yeast cell, algae.
and ride along the trip. And then when it comes home,
Okay,
we can analyze
we're good.
how they
So
responded
we
to
now
the
know what we
environment.
need to get from Port Tresla.
will
So
help drive
let's
us
go
forward.
get some
It will
shopping.
help us to go further and stay there longer.
In addition to space biology, we'll be learning about how to make astronauts more effective in the Orion in the future. An example of that is something called the Callisto technology demonstration.
Lockheed Martin built the Orion spacecraft for NASA, and we'll be flying a secondary payload that's a demonstration payload called Callisto. So we took the technology from Amazon for Alexa and the WebEx technology from Cisco, and so we built a digital assistant, if you will, the custom space-qualified Alexa.
Alexa, how does the life support system work?
Orion's life support system is the environmental control and life support system oracles.
And so this payload is the demonstration mission to show how astronauts in the future could use this technology as an innovative user interface.
Powering weapons. There you have it. I hope you agree with me. This is exciting.
I am just over the moon excited.
We got a lot of glaciers to buy.
The science we'll conduct
we need 14.
Lays the groundwork to ensure that we can safely conduct scientific activities at the moon with our astronauts going forward. This really is the stepping stone for us as we take that next giant leap in space exploration.
So a lot of great science also happening on the International Space Station. I got to speak with astronauts Jessica Watkins and Samantha Cristoforetti while they were still on board about the research there that will benefit future Artemis missions.
Jessica, Samantha, your primary job on the space station is to maintain the orbiting lab and conduct science experiments, more than 200 before Crew 4 returns.
All right, so we now can go and equip them to the ship.
Experiments that will help return us to the moon with the Artemis program.
We do a lot of experiments where we are looking into developing new technologies that will enable us to go further into the solar system. And one of those technologies was the AstroRad experiment. Radiation is one of the challenges that we face when we think about going further into the solar system. And so this vest is an option for providing the crew member with protection. And then one of the mannequins on Artemis 1, launching here later this month, will also be wearing the vest. We'll get a sense for its effectiveness on board.
Taking a while to get into that, so we'll just go.
A lot of work to test how we would grow crops in space. What crops are you growing on Space Station right now, and what's unique about them?
Indeed. Actually, right next to us as we are talking to you, we have a little Space Station vegetable garden. It's called X-Root, and in a few weeks it will be full of fully grown, hopefully tomatoes and cattle plants. It's a green thumb, I must confess, but when I harvested those plants and I could really breathe in all that smell, even if there is no soil, it still has that smell that you would associate on the ground with walking, through a vegetable garden after a rainy day, when there is that moisture in the air, and that was just so pleasant after such a long time living away from any kind of natural environment. It was very pleasant for me.
If it makes you feel any better, I also.
Right, we are going to stop that there now because it's going to be the lag. Lag is going to kill us, so let's get into the vehicle loadout and get into the Aegis Retaliator. If it lets us. Still having issues with it. I'm gonna have to leave Discord to see if that helps with my internet connection because it's been pants. But have a good time, buddy. Peace out, mate. Just like that, it crashes. Oh, this PC, I swear. Alright. Come on, please. I hope it's not this bad during IAE 2952. Yeah, it's Discord. I swear it's Discord that does it. Pain in the bum Discord is. Right. Let's try that again. There we go. So it's got a lot of turrets, this particular ship.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
I'm actually going to call over the, where is it gone?
Activating now.
The RSI Andromeda. And we're going to end stream because we're having issues with it, but we'll speak to you guys